Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to Oh When the Town. I'm Luke Gregory and here's what's coming up today. It's another win and another week where we're keeping the pressure on Sheffield United after a 2-0 win away at Rotherham. Pretty easy work by the sounds of it. Today we'll discuss that win in a little bit more detail and also have a look at Sonny Bradley. I know he was back because Bataro would not shut up about him over the weekend. When I saw you on Sunday, you were like, hey mate, he was so good. You were loving it.
He was, mate. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Steve's with me tonight. Dave's there. Bataro's there. Sorry, nearly. So you see, you'll shuffled a bit.
Evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How are we all? All good?
Yeah, we're all grand. Yeah, it was totally grand. I had a fantastic trip on Saturday. What more could you want?
Good day, wasn't it? Good day out.
So as you probably see by the title of the video and the podcast today, I did put the title as, is this the end of Oh When the Town? But mainly because I have some news that today will be my last podcast. And Steve, we've had you on the podcast for a few weeks now because you are going to be filling in and...
yeah, but I'm not running it. I'm
not running it.
It's just comedy value, that's all.
Dave's going to be taking over the reins. And all due to the fact that I'm going to be leaving Brentford in around 2 weeks' time and actually go back and work at Luton and do pretty much my dream job. So I've got an opportunity to go do that. So unfortunately, this will be my last podcast. But look, we're going to continue it. It's going to carry on. Well, I say we. You guys are going to continue it. It's going to carry on.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Can't do without you, mate. Can't do without you.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Yes,
Future 3.
Nah, not of you, Dave. Not of you in charge. No, thank you.
I'm going to say you're a poor second choice.
Hey, listen, this podcast was set up lockdown time, wasn't it? And it's gone from strength to strength. And Luke, you've been a major part of that. And so we thank you for all those efforts. But
thanks, mate.
You know, and we thank everyone that's listening and watching. We hope you continue to listen and watch and interact with us all because, you know, it's a passion now and we love this podcast. But we're going to miss you, Luke.
Yeah. I mean, it was literally just set up. I remember when Nathan Jones originally left, we were like, just really want to talk about it. And because I had that background in radio, it just kind of worked as a bit of a hobby. And, you know, we have fun on this, don't we, every Monday night?
I can say, I mean, I've only been doing it a few weeks now, but listened all the time. And it's always been great. You know, some things disagree with, some things agree with. But I think it's Brentford's loss and Luton's gain. So I'm really interested to see, because you're joining Luton at a great time. There's a lot of big things very close on the horizon. And it'd be good to see what you do with it all, mate. So fair play to you.
Thank you. Well, enough about me, and let's actually talk about some football because we are now 10 unbeaten and we had a brilliant result away at Rotherham at the weekend. Let's start with some 3-word reviews then. Mark says perfect away win. Connor says very professional performance. Dwayne says banging form. Neville says buzzing for Woodrow. Andy, 19th clean sheet. Ad says playoffs basically guaranteed. David said glad Sonny's back. And Kilty says keeping the momentum. A few good ones in there. Steve, let's start with you. Which one takes your fancy?
19th clean sheet.
Yeah.
You know, it stands out. I mean, everything is from, you know, that solid platform that we've got. Horvath didn't have a damn thing to do.
No.
He really didn't. We'll talk about Sonny in greater detail later on.
You can pass out to me if you want. Yeah, no worries.
Just calm, all right? Your moment will come. But the dynamics of the back three changed, but, you know, it just worked. It was one of the most comfortable away games that I've been to for a long, long time. Yeah.
Bataro, what about you? Which one of the... I know you're probably going to pick the glad Sonny's back because you did say he was brilliant on the weekend.
Mate, he was. I mean, that first half especially, I think... there was no nerves that I saw from him anyway. I don't know about you, I didn't see anything from it. It was just like what we remembered from when he first came into the club, when he took control of the back full-back then, I suppose, wasn't it? Back three on a Saturday. But no, brilliant again, as always. And like you say, Steve, we kept mentioning it, I think, after the game on the way home. We kept saying, that was probably one of the most comfortable performances we've ever had, I think.
At
this level.
I left my fearful eyes at home. They just weren't there.
I was about to ask you, did you take fearful eyes?
Yeah, no, they weren't there. And no, it's gone.
I'd agree with Mark. It was a perfect away win. It was a perfect day. The tactics were great. The play was great. Let's say that Rotherham didn't give us much of a game. Really, they didn't create. But I think we stifled them in every single area of the pitch. So
you've literally got to give it to us, though, haven't you?
Well, I'd like to say that, but I would say that Rotherham fans, I've looked at a couple of their online stuff, and a couple have said, Luton aren't all that. They won't go up. The same old thing. Every time we beat a team, Luton are rubbish. Well, we're third. We're not rubbish. So I think we controlled the game, and it was just a really good experience going there, and I'm watching it really.
Yeah, but we've been hearing this since League One. Luton aren't all that.
Yeah.
Well, now we're third, pushing second. I know probably we're going to fail that, but pushing second in the Championship. We're still not all that. Fine, crack on.
I tell you what, I've seen a lot recently on Twitter is, and I do feel like it's the fact we are third still. Is people are going, it's a poorer Championship this year, and I looked at the league tables going back to like 2014 because I was just curious to see.
We had this conversation, didn't we, last week as well? Yeah,
you look at the league table and our points tally at the moment is pretty much good for playoffs in the at least 5 out of the last 7 seasons. And I just think people see Luton in third and go, well, it must be a poor league because Norwich are 10th, Watford are 12th.
Because those people are just idiots, aren't they? Let's face it. People
But most
that
of
don't
those
rate us are idiots.
The people that are in that situation are the Norwich fans, are the QPR fans, are those fans that
Entitled.
believe. Yeah, exactly. They believe their club should be higher up, and they still look at us as little Luton, and let them continue doing that. If we're lucky enough to get promoted this season, we're going to have a blast next season.
I just think it's down to the. I know we've spoken about it week after week. It's the good recruitment. It's the good coaching. And it's all like a seamless progression. And you've got your Norwiches and your Watfords and all this lot that are just throwing cash at it. Oh, it fails. Throw more cash at it. Bring someone else in, and it just gets more and more broken. When Swansea went up to the Premier League, that was a really good team on hardly any money, and we're going down the same line. And the people that are throwing away millions and millions, they're the ones that say, no, it's a crap division. Because you're not doing decent recruitment or decent coaching.
But like Luke said, if the points tally we're on now would have got playoffs 5 seasons in a row, then we're doing something right.
I think the key thing for us is there's a very good vibe around the club. Like I think you got, like you say, like there's a lot of negativity. Like for example, those tossers down the road. I mean, they've got a lot of negativity at their club. It's always everything you see around the club on social media. Other teams that spent a lot of cash in obviously the past, like Norwich, is a lot of negativity, like from their home support and whatever else. Luton, there's no negativity. Because we don't expect. Obviously, I know we don't have the money there and whatever else, but we don't expect anything, whereas they do, and they throw so much at it. Well, it's just negative.
But the only reason they have that is because of the money they've got and the chairman that they've got or the owner that they've got who, I don't know, manipulates money. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But we've never had that. We've never had that major investment. We haven't had the millions and millions of pounds that club has earned because we've not been in the Premier League because of getting relegated the first season it was on. But I guarantee maybe some of us, if we'd had multi-millions of pounds, would want to do better than we have.
Of course.
In the same way.
Yeah, it's human nature, isn't it?
But from, there's been a lot of people that have only supported Luton over the last 10, 12 years. What a ride they've had.
Yeah.
They don't expect, they're just enjoying the ride. And, the next level, it'll be fun.
It's a big step.
It'll be fun. Totally fun. I can't wait.
Well, let's talk about the Rotherham game. 2 changes from the Blackpool game. Bradley and Woodrow coming in for Doughty and Adebayo. I don't know about what you guys think, but anyone looking at our injury list at the moment and going, please, let's just fingers crossed that everyone's okay and it's just precautionary.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm hoping it is more precautionary and, just... It's quite a balancing act, the next sort of 4 games that we've got, because there's... you want to keep up momentum because it's difficult when you take your foot off the gas to get going again. So he's going to be so conscious. He's going to want to keep the momentum going. He's going to want to keep people fresh. He's going to want to get some players back up to speed. It's a real juggling act, and it's going to be another sign of how good a coach he is if he gets us through this.
It is kind of worrying. We don't want to be in the same position we were last season.
We're not going to be. No. We're not going to be. We're already bolstered the squad on that front.
So I'm thinking, do you leave players out when you've got that final guarantee, or do we want to just push and push?
As long as you know that you can't reach second place, and I think. Well,
I think
we need to cement third as well. We need to.
Well, I was
third.
about to say that because you cannot
not,
be. If you drop down 2 places, you might end up with the worst straw.
I mean,
ever.
a couple of changes, 1 or 2 changes here and now. I mean, it's got to happen, isn't it? Towards the end of the season, keep the players like semi-fresh, I guess, but don't change too much too quick.
Or substitute early, whatever.
Yes, yeah, of course. But obviously, sorry, give me 2 seconds. What I was going to say is, obviously, from the start, I know he's like, I'm eager to say something. But no, what I was going to say is, the only thing that we don't want is players breaking down, like you say, last couple of games of the season.
Yeah.
And if we lose Morris, I think that would be a massive key for us. Whether we go up or we don't. So
I think this is a key time where Edwards has got to listen to the science guys. You know, if someone is running on empty or on fumes, you know, they'll be able to see that from all their readouts. And he's got to act on that.
Yeah.
You know, when you push them, you know, we flogged them last year because we had no choice. Yeah. And that is when they all broke down at the same time. So, you know, again, if it looks, according to the stats, that someone is really sort of pushing towards the level, then maybe they need to be given, you know, 1 game off or a half or something. But, you know, these guys have been around football for years. So, you know, they're going to manage it, you know, in the right way.
So then changes then Bradley and Woodrow coming in, and I mean, look, they're not bad players to be bringing into your starting 11, and both played an impact, didn't they? Let's talk about the first goal. Well, we kind of like got going after the half-hour mark, and we had that chance that was brilliantly saved by the keeper, and then
we thought it was in.
I thought it was in, yeah. We literally jumped up as I couldn't believe it hadn't hit the back of the net.
Well, I don't think we could see the keeper from where we were standing. I think there was like a couple of defenders sort of in the way, and we saw the shot, went past all the defenders, and, you know, he was already trying to embrace me like he does. But suddenly you just saw this hand patting it away, and I thought, well, where the hell has that come from? So, but seeing it back...
That was a good save.
Brilliant save.
Was that Amari Bell by any chance? Was it Amari Bell at the shot?
Yes, it was Bell, yeah.
But it was a brilliant save, you're not wrong. And, you know, you was expecting the back of that net to ripple, and you thought, is it going to be one of them days? But we were so dominant, you knew we were going to get another chance.
And I said it wasn't too long before we took lead really straight after that, was it? I think it was maybe a few minutes or so. I don't know, but...
Brilliant goal as well from Carl Morris, and again,
fantastic.
Just showing us...
Oh, sorry,
I know we've said it all season.
Dave, it wasn't. It was a scrappy goal.
I was obviously working at the weekend. He texted me going, scrappy goal.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, that's not scrappy.
Can I just say at this
goal.
Glasses,
can I just say at this point, I was having a great day. That's what I want to say. But, you know, last time you're going to give me any crap like that anyway, so otherwise we can just send you off right now.
I know we've spoken about Carl Morris so much this season, but again, to show the composure, the skill to bring it back onto his left foot and finish, instead of maybe in the past we've had players that maybe been a bit one-dimensional and from that situation wouldn't be clever enough to cut back and finish like that.
It's the confidence that he's got with either foot, you know, or, you know, heading the ball. You know, he's just an all-round player. But yeah, you know, we tucked it in.
I think it was slightly lucky the ball got to him because the Rotherham defender just sort of flicked it, didn't he? Couldn't get his head on it.
He doesn't believe in luck, does he?
I was just a bit lucky. I didn't say it was.
Don't look at me, Dave. I never said anything, mate. It was in at the start.
But once he got the ball, Morris knew what he was going to do with it. Beat the player, saw the goalkeeper, and just fired it in.
Great.
To me, it looked as if it went straight through the keeper, sort of shoulder height maybe. But, you know, because I thought, I still wonder how it went in, because it was a narrow angle.
I think the keeper went down on one knee, didn't he? Cover his near post, I believe, and then it went...
That's how attractive Morris is.
Yeah,
you know, he can help himself.
That's it.
This is how the podcast is going to go in the future.
What am I leaving you guys to?
Yeah.
And then a couple of minutes after the restart, it was 2-0. Look, let's talk about Cody Drame, because it was a lovely bit of skill. And this clip of him's gone quite viral on Twitter with Leeds fans, and they're not happy with their current fullbacks in the Premier League, and they're looking at Drame absolutely smashing it for us, and they're a little bit jealous, actually. But this guy's talented, isn't he?
Yeah, there's 2 bits I want to mention on that one. I don't know if anyone's seen it. When he does it, Burke is clapping him.
Really? I haven't seen it.
He's clapping him.
I've not seen that.
And that reminded me of Naismith when Dewsbury Hall done some glorious crossfield pass. You get, oh God, watch your whip, pal. But you watch it back. He clapped him. The other thing I'm pointing out, the guy that he done up like a kipper is also on loan
from Leeds.
So I bet he hammered him to pieces for that.
Oh, brilliant.
It was brilliant bit of skill though, wasn't it?
It's a beautiful bit of skill, and then to run and put a cross in like he did, that early in the first half as well, second half as well, was brilliant. And then you have to ask yourself, what was the Rotherham defender doing?
Well, this is it. I mean, like I said about a bit of skill, I was very, very gutted that I never saw it live. I was still in the bar. But all I heard was screaming and shouting. I was just run up and everyone going, "Oh, it's a penalty, it's a penalty." I was like, who to? Obviously, the nerves started settling in. Next minute, I just got in time for Woodrow to take the penalty. But yeah, what was the defender doing? Absolute tit. Sorry.
Here we go.
There you go. There goes your sort of chances of joining Sky Sports as a pundit. Yeah.
There's no chance anyway, Steve, mate.
It's like he's so composed and just gets to the end and it's just like,
what a tit.
can't help himself.
The defender, though, I mean, you know, they're trying to say it wasn't handball at one point. Obviously, they would say that, but it was so deliberate. What was he thinking? I'm grateful he did it. Don't get me wrong, but what was he thinking? He could have just let that run out.
And he would have seen it all the way across. You know, it didn't suddenly just come from behind another player. He saw it all the way, and you saw when he was appealing, it was one of those, my God, what have I done? I should appeal it. But it, just awful. Just
It wasn't
awful.
even under that much pressure either.
No.
And it was just...
I think there was no one within like
no one.
4 yards of him, was there?
No, it was
and I mean,
blatant.
when the ball, as he made contact with his arm, he was pretty much on the line as well, wasn't he? On the byline. What are you doing? I mean, I'm sorry, if that was a Luton player who did that,
You'd be going mental, right? Wouldn't you?
Oh, 100%. And if you're his manager, give him a good kicking after the game as well.
I did look at the ref when he gave it and just looked at, what can I do?
Yeah.
You know, it was so obvious, I can't let that go.
It was bizarre. By the way, when I go, make sure you call out producer Jacob on all of his grammatical errors in here.
Oh, mate,
Woodrow had the
stop
pan
it.
saved, he says it, but he scored the rebound. To be fair to Woodrow, it was actually a really well struck pen, wasn't it? And I think the keeper's pulled off a brilliant save. It's just unfortunate that it has
he's a
gone.
good keeper as well.
See, then I've
Fortunate
got,
for us, it's gone back to Woodrow.
but I've got two opinions on that, because on the day I thought, he should have done better with the pen. But when I watched it back, I thought it was a tremendous save.
I thought it was a poor pen at the time.
Yeah.
I really did. But
It's a tremendous save. But with those, if you don't pat them back out to the right or the left, or, you know, past the post, you always risk that. And thank God Woodrow was thinking quick.
Yeah, no, fair play to him. Yeah, and that was it. That was the game done and dusted, basically.
Because I think I said to you at the game that had he missed that, that would have got the bit between their teeth, thinking they could get back in it.
Yeah.
But 2-0, and you're just thinking game over.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I say, at 2-0, there was no coming back. I mean, this is how confident I was on the day. There was no way they would have scored 2 goals, or, well, even scored 1. I felt like that. I mean, I think we all felt like that. There was no way they were getting, like, they're breaching our back 4. We suffocated them the whole game.
Yeah.
Literally suffocated, and that was it.
It was nice to read tweets from Rotherham fam did tweets saying like, "Wow, Luton are good," and then you get a couple of replies going, "Not that good," but then a couple like, "Yeah, defensively they look solid." And once again, we're proving. I mean, you look at spoke about this last week, but it's an extra game now where we've not conceded from open play, and I think we've still only conceded 2 from open play in the last 16, or something crazy like that.
Oh, really?
You know, and you know,
It is mad.
you would expect a stat like that Horvath will be getting 7 or 8 man of the match awards and that, and he's not had a since because he's just had so little to do.
Yeah.
And again, it's testament to the back three, whoever it is, and the midfield. You know, it's just that they're just not getting through to him. They work so hard. I think it was last couple of minutes, game was done and dusted, and you still saw them, you know, pushing. There was no let up, and that 100% professionalism is what you need to get through in the playoffs, and maybe they're just made of the right stuff to do it.
Yeah.
Producer Jake has actually put here the only goals from open play the Hatters have conceded in the last 15 games come in a 2-2 home draw with Millwall and the one against Blackpool. But that's a set play, so technically not open play.
When does a set play not become a set play and it becomes an open play?
I guess even if it's like a second ball and a set play may count as a...
I'd say after the ball was cleared.
Direct, if you're heading in a free kick, that's a set play.
Yeah, that's a set play, but if...
Right, stop,
It's not a favourite
just stop,
play,
because
isn't
you're just making the stats sound even worse, Steve. Just let's move on.
It's his last time.
I know, but we can get him at the end. We'll get producer Jacob next week just to put up the best of his boobs, his boobs, his muck-ups.
What is going on today?
Yeah.
What is going on?
You strange man.
Well, I realised what I was going to say, and I couldn't really say it, so I had to stop.
Microphones and alcohol. It's, you know, honestly. But
he's only had half a pint, Steve. Come on,
it's
there's
enough.
no excuse in that.
But going back to this, Rotherham 2 on target. I don't remember them.
I swear I
there's
saw
one.
them.
There was one where it was like almost a pass back to our keeper.
Right.
I think that was second half, maybe.
Don't remember that.
Yeah, and a couple that went wide, but
It literally, he had to do nothing of any significance, did he?
Well, Sky Sports app has Rotherham 4 shots, 0 on target.
Yeah.
But
there you
2
go.
blocked. So maybe producer Jacobs
No,
thought
yeah,
they
oh,
had it
Yeah,
on
maybe.
target.
Yeah,
Doesn't
okay.
count as a shot on target then? No, I'm not having that one. So
Call
I'm
him
checking
out,
as
mate.
well
He's the one
now.
that does it.
No, that's all
Couple
right.
more chances to extend the lead, but didn't manage to do that. But look, we take 2-0 away from home any day of the week, won't we? With
Yeah.
a clean sheet.
Yeah, massively.
and also the performance was outstanding. Doesn't matter what the level of your opposition is, the performance by the whole squad was outstanding.
And the thing is...
And can I just also say,
Sorry,
the
no,
performance by the fans was also really good.
Yes. As always expected. But
Those,
no, like I
those that
say,
weren't at the bar.
every week now he's giving me shit, ain't he? But yeah, no, it was 0 shots on target. I just checked as well, another app. But do you know what? You've thrown me off now. I don't know what I was going to say. That's pointless. It's irrelevant. Don't worry about it.
Well, it was Horvath's 19 clean sheet in the league, joint first. I think we're level with potentially Burnley. It must be Burnley, surely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we said, 2-0 up to, extending the lead in third place by another 3 points. And we look ahead to the Reading game on Wednesday night. And, you know, every game's tough in this league, but if we can go there and produce what we've been doing recently, there's no reason we can't go there, get there another win, is there?
But Reading are going to be quite high after their performance against Burnley, aren't they?
And they're
So-
fighting for their lives as well.
So
That's
they're going to think they've got a good chance.
That's what I was going to say a second ago, sorry. Rotherham also, I think their home record isn't actually that bad as well. I think they've got a pretty solid home record. And like you say, they're fighting for it down there as well. They're not a bad side.
Well,
so
they beat West Brom the previous home game, was it?
3-2.
I don't know, but they beat.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was West Brom. So yeah, they'd have been on a
Yeah.
high. They'd have been on a high.
Makes it look even better for us, doesn't it?
So obviously there is a potential chance. And look, I know we've been dreaming about saying like automatic promotion over the last few weeks on the podcast, but if somehow Sheffield United lose tomorrow and we win our next 2, we do go into second for at least a week, which would be unreal, and would also put the pressure on Sheffield United to get them results. It's a big ask for Bristol City to go there and win tomorrow.
But Bristol City want to win too, Why not? Why
I mean,
not?
they've got the best manager in the league, haven't they?
I've got to be honest.
So of
I've got to
course
be
they're
honest.
gonna-
When you look back at Sheffield United's recent form, they've had a stutter occasion. So they lost to us. Remember when we talked to the guy from the Sheffield United podcast? He was saying, once they go behind, sometimes they struggle. From what I see on social media at the beginning of that game at the weekend, they struggled. They went 1 down, didn't they? And you're just thinking, at this point, maybe they can lose a couple, and they've got the FA Cup to worry about. Are they? They all want to get to that, don't they?
Well,
I just hope it all gets a bit too much, but you've got to be realistic. They've been up there the whole season.
Yeah.
If they lose it out, it's going to be a miracle.
Either way, it's in their hands, isn't it? So
But we've got to put ourselves in the position
yes,
where
Yeah.
if they do muck up, we're there to take it.
Yeah,
But we've got to
It's remote though, isn't it?
be realistic. One more point effectively guarantees us playoffs, which we know where we're going to be.
do you reckon if there was 10 more games of the season, you could maybe look at it and go, there's a real chance?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Maybe 10 more games and have to play them at the Kenny or something, and then you'd maybe go.
It's
"Oh,
weird
okay."
you're saying it because I was looking from actually, I think it was 11, 12 games ago, and we were, I think 11 points off, 10 points off.
Okay.
And over 10 games, we managed to gain 5 points. So if you look at it as an average, then over
Yeah.
10 games, then you could obviously catch him, I think. Because I
But,
feel like
but also
a lot better.
the reverse of that is 10 games to go. You're just thinking, can we maintain our form and stay in that top 6? So I'd rather be where we are, and just hope that Sheffield United managed to muck it up. But I think our running compared to theirs is a little bit harder. I think the big result will be when we play Middlesbrough.
But you've also got to put, I think they've also got teams at the bottom as well that's trying to go for obviously safety, aren't they? So it's not easy as well. I'd rather play teams that maybe in and around the top half rather than the teams at the bottom. I know it sounds a bit stupid. People go, what are you talking about? But
Yeah, teams that haven't got
teams that are
anything to play
scrapping,
for.
teams at the bottom are scrapping.
I think it could be
Sometimes.
quite intriguing, the sort of any jockeying for positions within the playoffs as well, and like the 5th and 6th. I mean, a couple of games ago, Coventry were looking sort of out of it, but they probably thought, thank God we've got QPR coming up soon.
Everyone's thinking,
but they're back in the groove again, aren't they? And I mean, I watched Norwich the other night.
Shocking.
You just pray to get them in the playoffs if they were to get there. It's just.
I mean, one of my colleagues is a Norwich fan, and I did text him and say, should I be worried about potentially facing Middlesbrough? He was like, we're poor, but...
Yeah. But we were talking about this. The goals that Middlesbrough scored, once they got into that position, they put it away well.
Yeah.
But I was talking to Dave and Pataro on the way up to the game Saturday. I just did not see that any of the mistakes that Norwich made to allow them through, we wouldn't be making those mistakes.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have got 4 out of the 5 chances that they did get. You know, the way they were turning the ball over back to them, it was just awful. It was really rubbish. And yeah, when they're at the point of shooting, they were pretty ruthless, but we wouldn't have even given them those chances.
And just on Middlesbrough, do you reckon it's a good chance for us to maybe prove to Middlesbrough and maybe the rest of the teams in the playoffs that actually, if we do get you in the playoffs, we are going to be a tough game and we're going to be a tough opposition? Because I did see a Middlesbrough fan tweet the stats of our game against them at the Riverside, and it looked a bit one-sided from the stats, but I think maybe Borough will be going, it's an easy win for us.
I think stats are irrelevant in the last game. I mean, first game that Rob Edwards was in charge as well. We lost it late on. But let's face it, that's when the run started around about then, didn't it? So,
yeah, it was immediately after.
I don't ever go back to games that we played in, like, you know, previous months or in the home game or the away game or whatever, and look at it and go, well, they actually dominate us on the stat. That's a different day. When we play them next day, it's also a different day. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
If you're looking at the Luton Middlesbrough game, though, it is one that both teams will want to win. They will want to put their mark on the other side, you know, sort of mentally, and say, we've got the number on you.
Yeah.
And I think both teams will want to do that. You might think, oh, well, we just want to keep out of injuries way. You know, we're both in the playoffs. But, you know, the chances are at some point we may face each other. I think both teams will want to prove a point. So
Anyone
it's going to be
see
a good game.
Rob Edwards at the Borough game on Friday night?
Yes, saw him there, yeah.
Probably having a little look at him and thinking...
Yeah.
We can beat them.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what he was thinking.
We can beat anyone.
We can beat them.
Yeah, but it's like they just wouldn't have got any of those chances with us.
According to our manager, we're not Little Luton anymore. We're there on merit. We've got a good enough squad. Why can't we take performance? If you want to put that, we lost at Middlesbrough, we can win at home. We lost at Watford, we can win at home. You know, why not?
Yeah,
we're good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not there by some mistake. That's the thing. And as many people, I don't care what they think. We're not there by mistake. We're a decent team.
We're at the top of our not ability, the feel good factor. They must be buzzing. They must be thinking, when's the next game? They must be looking forward to it so much because confidence is high. They're in the groove, and that they must be loving playing for us at the moment.
I mean, that's what I'm like as a fan at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the league table there. I got home from football on Saturday working, and I was lying in bed just before going to bed. I'm just staring at the league table. It's just, well, we got like 20, we got more than 20 wins now as well. We got 20 wins.
Yeah, wow. 20 wins, yeah.
And I just look at it, I think, that's the championship table. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. It's not even like League 2 table. That is championship.
I mean, even a goal difference of, was it plus 17 we were on now, is it? I believe.
Yep, that's right.
I mean, when was the last time we got plus 17? Well, not at this level anyway.
Going to say not for a while, and you
this
say
level, nah.
Yeah, QPR 20th minus 27.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We have to throw that in there. It's great, isn't it? It's so good.
And then...
Oh, and Watford can't catch us.
Yeah, for the first time in, I believe, what...
Was it 97?
A lot of years.
Wow. But it doesn't count. It's only about this year. What's history is history.
Yeah, but
apart from
times are changing, aren't they? Times are changing.
Yeah, and for the better.
I just think the next stage for us is so exciting. So if we can see this season through and get what we want, next season's going to be just an absolute blast. And, you know, you don't know whether we're strong enough to stay up, but it'll be a hell of a season. It's
still going to be some achievements to get through the playoffs.
Do you know what, though?
For any of the four that are going to be there.
I get that, but you should think with our form and the way we played, you've got to be confident that we can take the extra step that we took last season. And once you're there, it's anyone's game.
Yes, but I found my fearful eyes again.
I don't care, Steve.
We've never won a playoff campaign. We've got to change it soon, haven't we?
Then again, you know, why not? Why not? Sometimes that's going to change, and you know, our fortune is good at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, Brentford hadn't won playoffs in, I think, their history.
Right.
And then They lost in the semis, or they lost in the final to Fulham. Then the following year beat Swansea. So maybe it's our time.
Are you claiming
Maybe
to,
it's our
to
time.
be the good luck charm?
Look, if I come in and we win a playoff, brilliant. We'll see. But look, I mean,
Not long to wait either until it happens. So let's keep the faith.
This playoff campaign, I mean, we're not even there yet. We've got one more point we think we need. But
We don't need that.
confidence-wise, as a fan, are you feeling more confident this year than maybe this time last year?
Oh, man, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
The team is so much better, isn't it, as well now?
Yeah,
So much
and
better.
we knew that the squad was absolutely decimated, whereas I know we mentioned earlier the couple of injuries, but I'm sure they are precautionary. I'm sure that we'll be up to full strength when it happens, and that. Last time was hopeful. I just think no one's going to want to play us because we're so well organised. I really do think that.
Would you say we've got more of an identity as well now?
Yeah, probably. But I mean, Blackburn, they're not in great form at the moment. They're sort of struggling to score a load of goals. Coventry are doing well, but it'd be interesting. I think Millwall would be our toughest opponent because they're quite like-minded.
It's what I said to Patara the other day. You go to Millwall away and we got a 0-0 there, but I do feel like they have the capabilities just to get the ball in the box and get a headed goal. I don't know, they scare me.
The terms we use, or the term you use and we used, was they like to shithouse their way to a victory.
Yeah.
And they do.
I think we cancelled
true.
each other out though when we played them. We just cancelled each other
So
out.
they're quite like-minded.
It wasn't the best game to go watch, was it? Let's be fair.
Which is why I didn't.
No. And
Is there any teams that are in that build-up that potentially do frighten you more than others? Because
Coventry.
I don't know.
They've got goals in them.
I was saying to
Good side.
my girlfriend Amber the other day, I was like, I just don't want to play anyone. I just want to just,
Oh, so you're
just
going as well?
let's just go up.
I want to buy.
just
That's it.
just put us through.
And also, though, look, Sunderland not out of it either, are they?
No.
They're not out of it. Norwich are not out of
But
it.
then you go to Sunderland in the first
West-
leg in front
West
of
Brom.
44,000 people, and it's going to be noisy. And,
West Brom are not out
it's
of
going
it.
to be scary. West
You
Brom
know.
are a good team.
So,
So we.
but
So
we
we're
should
a good team.
not. Well, I don't think we should be scared of anyone.
No.
I don't think we should be scared of anyone. We've had a brilliant season, and just go back a couple of weeks when we beat Watford at home. It's lovely, isn't it? But you turn up at that game hoping we're going to give a performance. Well, we played them off the park. We played them off the field of play, and we've beaten practically all the bigger teams this season.
The playoffs are just nerve jangling.
Well, of course they
it's
are.
a horrible experience, I'd imagine, until you have actually
even from
won it.
non-league times, they were terrible. And every time we got to a playoff or got to a playoff final, you go there full of hope, and then we've been not let down, just despondent at the end of it all. There's no reason we can't turn that around. We're just on a bit of a rise at the moment. I think we can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember we beat Wrexham 3-0 at their place, lawless, an absolute dream. Back at our place, second leg, they really tucked into us quite quickly, and sort of 15, 20 minutes in, you thought, Christ, it's 3-0 up, and you were biting your nails. It's nerve wracking until.
But where would
done.
you rather be? Where would you rather be? Would you rather have that slog that we had a couple of seasons ago, where if we didn't win, we didn't stay up, or would you rather be up the top with that?
Have that opportunity.
Yeah, that opportunity.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And our opportunity is good, and it's been made by a great management and a great club performance all season. So they're not going to let you down now, and we just got to keep ourselves level-headed for now. But when we're at Wembley,
and we've got to support our asses off. We've got to really.
when we go
get
to
behind
Wembley, because I genuinely feel we're going to make Wembley this year.
If we go to Wembley.
No, I'm going to say when. I genuinely feel we can make it there this year. And if we don't, I'll be very sad, because I think our team performance throughout the whole season deserves it.
Yeah.
Just deserves that extra step from last year.
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
And people will say we're being biased and saying we deserve it. We do. We genuinely deserve it. We have been phenomenal this season. How many teams, like you say, now clean sheets we've kept? Sorry, Dave, I thought you was pointing something to me.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just,
right.
I'm just,
I was like, what's he?
no, I'm just looking.
But no, look, we have been disciplined the whole season. We have shown teams with, like you say, massive budgets that we can compete with them. Not that it really matters in football sometimes. I mean, we've got really good set of players ourselves, haven't we? But
Yeah, but that's
there's nothing
still
to say we can't do it.
The budgets is still what a lot of opposition fans
Look at
and judge us on. So
But then that's like their peril, I guess, isn't it? So
And then the entrance to the ground, obviously.
Yes.
and judge us on that too.
Oh, mate, honestly.
Because that's
the
really
biggest thing.
important, isn't it? Let's be fair.
Seeing Kenilworth in the Premier League, that's,
It would be
that's
unreal,
the
wouldn't
dream.
it?
That's
It would
the
be the
dream.
dream.
Hey, it's been in top flight football before. There's no reason it can't be in top flight
Yes.
football again.
Well, before we end today, we thought we'd do a nice little update from Mark Crowther, see how he's getting on. So give him a little call, shall we?
Yeah, do that. Because he's. We saw him on
Just dial it
Saturday. He done really. He looked like he'd worked hard.
Oh, there we go. See if he answers.
He was in good form, though. I'm sure he enjoyed the game.
Hi there.
Hi, Mark. It's Luke and Dave and Stephen Batara from Town. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks. How are you?
We're good. How's it all going? How are you getting on?
Yeah, so day 13. I'm in Wrexham. Made it to Wrexham. 1,000 miles. Legs tired, but yeah, it's going really good.
Hey, you're in Wrexham. Did you get in the Disney documentary?
I've been to the ground. I met the CEO apparently, saw the ground. Had my mandatory photo. So met Gary, who's a Luton fan that goes to all the games, that lives in Wrexham. So we've just had the recovery in. Had my recovery cider. So I'm
I was
raring
going to say,
to
how's
go.
the alcohol getting on?
How's the stamina, mate? How's the fatigue?
The fatigue. I sort of have good days and bad days. Last night I was just so tired. Got about 7 or 8 hours sleep. Just felt so much better today.
Cool.
So today I was from Burton, went to Stoke, Port Vale, Crewe into Wrexham. So actually feeling quite refreshed at the moment before tomorrow.
Brilliant. Have you got any horror days ahead of you? Is there a day that you're thinking, I don't want this day to come?
Well, funnily enough, on Friday, I got to cycle to that team in yellow.
Well, yeah, we would forgive you if you didn't go there.
Yeah. Had you had your jabs though, Mark?
And for the sake of charity, I've got to have my photo taken outside the ground as well.
We'll forgive you,
can
don't
just-
you?
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
something like
mind.
that.
I wouldn't mind if you just slipped over the sponsorship shirt there, Mark, and put your Luton shirt on for that one.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, probably the most challenging and what probably underestimated was just the amount of time trying to get in and out of the big cities. Like yesterday, it was Chesterfield, Mansfield, Nottingham, Derby, Burton, and it's just the time trying to navigate myself in, navigate myself out, and it's considering I've got a poor sense of direction, you can just imagine.
Zero.
And I can vouch for that, to be fair. He took us down the wrong road at the time, Mark. I'm just sorry about that.
Hey,
I
don't worry,
always
it's
drop
all
you in
right.
it.
Don't forget you're joining Mark on the
Oh,
last league.
of course.
Don't forget that.
Mark, have you got all your supplies? Sorry, have you got all your supplies of protein bars and that? I know you was meant to get a package delivered to you a few times.
Yeah, it's only not turned up twice, so touch wood.
You said
all
they haven't
the-
turned up.
Yeah, a couple of
Oh.
times it hasn't, but
Oh, dear.
yeah, no, it's all good. So how's your training going, Bataro?
Oh yeah, it's going really well. To be fair, I mean,
He's only on his second Stella tonight.
just doing
so-
a bicep curl at the moment. But no, it's going really well, mate. I mean, I've done absolutely nothing. But I'll just take motivation from you, sir. That's all right.
You don't all overtrain, do you?
No, of course. I mean, I've got to look after the body. It's still recovering from my back at that time, so still about conditioning at the moment.
So, Mark, how's the fundraising total going? Are people getting on board and sponsoring you?
So at the moment, it's just like really well. So raised £3,490.
That's good effort.
What was
Good.
really, it's just everyone's been so generous, so kind. I mean, some of the clubs, when you go to the clubs, it's a couple of clubs have been so friendly. Stockport, Rochdale, Harrogate, clubs that are like really sort of in the community and like really supportive, and yeah, they're just really helpful. So really, what would really help is just trying to get clubs to share my tweets, so just sort of spread the word. Basically, it will just really help. But yeah, just a massive thank you to everyone, the generosity of everyone and the support. I think I've mentioned it before, but just when I'm having a bad day and I sort of get the tweets and the encouragement just to keep going, it really does help me get through it. But hopefully I've left the rain behind for a few days, so touch wood, it's forecast is looking better.
Yeah, it's quite nice and warm in the next few days, Mark. So you should be okay there.
Well,
Hopefully.
He'll be complaining about. He'll be complaining about the heat if you're not careful.
No, you'd be loving it, Mark. Wouldn't you? You get a nice suntan as you're going along, not round the eyes and whatever else.
well, Mark.
Yeah, but no, I mean,
go on, Mark.
Everyone's just been so kind and so supportive, and it really does mean a lot just to know that and it's all about the charities, and like the 3 charities is just trying to raise awareness and trying to sort of help the brilliant work that they do with donations. That's really what it's all about. So yeah, it's going well so far.
And Mark, where can people donate?
If they go to my website, which is www.markfootballcyclechallenge.co.uk, you can see the schedule. So if anyone's about and wants to come say hello, great. But there's a link on there so that people can donate, and it'd be much appreciated. And obviously, there's information about the charities as well. So everything's on the website.
Brilliant.
Nice. We'll get producer Jacob to put up a little link on socials as well. So if you want to head over to there, Owen the Town on Twitter, Jacob will get that up for you. Mark, we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the journey, and mate, hang in there. We're all proud of you, and we'll catch you for a beer when you finish, I guess.
Yeah, phenomenal effort, Mark. Well done, mate.
Great, thank you.
Take care, mate. Bye bye.
Well done, mate. See you soon.
Amazing effort from Mark as always, and if you can, go over to our socials, Owen the Town, and head over to his website and donate. It's all for a brilliant cause. And I guess that's all we got time for today. And
Your last one.
time for me to say bye forever. So
Hey,
no.
Go on, mate. Get out.
Do you know what though? Could we not interview at the Christmas party, a Christmas podcast, as your role at Luton Town?
no.
Okay, just
and
want to
see your boobs. Oh, sorry. I mean, boo-boos. Sorry,
You're like, where's going on it?
My dad watches this.
I would say that I'd be very surprised if you didn't get a lot of good messages from everyone else. So it's been a pleasure. Thanks for setting this all up. Well done. And I really hope your career at Luton Town takes off and you see us into the Premier League.
What? Leave it to the professionals now? Is that? What
I'll leave it to the professionals next week. Back to you 3.
Yeah,
He's a fraud.
Wait until he sees the video edit. It's going to be terrible.
Last
Your
of
own
the summer
little show,
wine.
isn't it? You'll be taking the reins. So good luck for the future of the podcast. And
Yeah, it sounds like we're never going to see you again.
I know it does. It sounds like I'm going forever.
We'll see him walking around the pitch side. We'll see him at the stadium.
Yeah.
We'll see him outside of that. So, and
Well, we won't see him at the bar ever, will we?
No.
Well,
Oh, you never know. He might get Christmas bonus. He might put it behind the bar for us. You never know.
Keep it real.
anyway.
Okay.
Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching over the last 4 years I've been a part of this podcast. It's been so much fun, and continue to support it because it is going to be great with these 3 still running the show. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening.
See you soon, guys.
Thank you.